Hey you guys, I'm here to kind of give you a kickstart video to your Beltane. It's coming up pretty soon here on May 1st. Beltane is a Sabbath, major Sabbath that is indicative of the holy marriage and the sacred union of the god and goddess. It is the fertility that's going to give rise to everything we have here. The typical colors are going to be red and white, which will be explained later with the maypole. And then you also have green that symbolizes growth everywhere. Symbolic animals are going to be like rabbits and honeybees, anything that's known for its fertilization powers. And if you're here from Louisiana, you know we have honeybees everywhere right now. Beltane has many rituals available to celebrate. First is the maypole. And everyone has heard of the maypole, whether you're pagan or not. Chances are you've seen one. And the maypole is extremely symbolic to Beltane. The colors, the way it's set up. First, a maypole is a tall pole. It's usually painted with like red and white stripes, and those colors are symbolic in itself. The red is the goddess aspect. It is indicative of menstrual blood. It is representing going from the maiden to mother, going to that stage to where you're able to physically reproduce and bring about what's here on earth. And the white is the male counterpart. It is semen, and it is the god's aspect to fertility and what he gives to the sacred union. You also have a set number of ribbons depending on what you're trying to get across. Like many covens just go ahead and stick with 13. That's a very safe, well-known pagan number. And those ribbons can be colored depending on, you know, what your point is. Most of the time they're red, white, green, maybe some dark yellows thrown in there. And the act of weaving them in and out of each other is actually symbolic of the Great Union itself. Which brings me to my next point. The next biggest celebrated Beltane ritual and celebrated normally is the Great Rite. Many know what the Great Rite is. It's normal to celebrate at major Sabbaths. For those who don't know, the Great Rite is another symbolic ritual to symbolize the joining of the god and goddess, used with a chalice and an athame. Chalice, of course, being the womb, and the athame being a phallic symbol. It's just simply where an athame is dipped into the belly of the chalice, and it's representing fertilization, the great union. Another is the Wicker Man. I bet you just had a flash of B-rated movies. The Wicker Man is not really typically indicative of human sacrifice. You know, us pagans are Wiccans, pretty peaceful people, and at harm none, do you what you will. They're usually not that big either. The Wicker Man is usually, our coven makes them out of popsicle sticks or small twigs. And yes, it is symbolic of a sacrifice, seeing as how he's being burned. You know, you build it up and you burn it. But a lot of people actually put sacrifices in the Wicker Man. Something physical, like if you're a gardener, you're going to put your best piece of fruit in there to give up something important to you. Last year I cut off a humongous chunk of my very well-loved hair and threw it in the Wicker Man's fire. But another point to bring across is this can also be seen as an opportunity to do something a little bit bigger. It's really an opportunity to have pagan Lent, where at the Wicker Man you promise to give up something for a year, and until the next Beltane ritual you give up something that's greatly loved to you. And that's what I'll be doing this next year, probably with sodas, or, you know, something that I really enjoy to give up to the god and goddess, to show their honor and how important they are to me. And another thing that's a really great opportunity is to honor your house guardian. this is also a really good opportunity to do that. House guardian, or your spirit guide, your spirit animal, or someone that you really look up to that's a big guide in your life. And there are so many ways to do this. We usually just carve a candle and, you know, burn something simple, but it means a lot to take time. Like with my phoenix, I have an entire separate ritual written just for him to be performed at Beltane. So it's really important to show your house guardian some love. And I'm going to end this video with a reading of some passages from my own Beltane ritual. I'm going to do our Beltane invocation, and then the invocation of the goddess and the evocation of the god. Blessed be this day of Beltane. Once again the wheel has turned to this holy day of sacred marriage and union. As the fertile goddess of the summer walks through the land with the great horned god, the world bursts forth with new life. The earth is shedding the last traces of winter, and the world rejoices with new light. The darkness is cleared, and this May Day can now begin. And then it's the goddess evocation. Hail to the mighty goddess who brings us life. She is one of moonlight and warm summer days. She is the mother of the earth and the land, the great nurturer of all living. We respectively summon her presence. Hail to our great mother on this Beltane night. And then the god's invocation. Hail to the mighty God who brings us life. He is one of sunlight and darkening days. He is the father of all life and consort to the goddess, holy protector of the living. We respectively summon his presence. Hail to our great Lord on this Beltane night. Alright, you guys, I hope this video was helpful to your research for Beltane, and you have a blessed Beltane.